good to see you again. Staff, thanks for spending the evening with us. All the guests who are with us in person or joining us electronically, thank you for joining us. This is a special meeting of the City Council. This is a public hearing. It is 6:45 and we are called to order. Council, you have in front of you an agenda. Does anyone wish to make a motion?
Move to approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you. Thank you. This is a voice vote. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Friends, this is the date, time, and place for a public hearing on the proposed budget statement. The mayor and the city council will entertain any comments. After all comments, the hearing will be declared closed. Is there anyone who'd come to the microphone to speak? Come on up.
I'm Deanna McHugh, and as we've talked before, I'm a Waverly resident, but also involved with the Library Board and Library Foundation Board. And again, I just want to thank you for thoughtfully considering the difficult decisions that have been before you. I appreciate all the conversation that I've been able to have with a number of you and the comments I've been able to share. My only comment tonight, or question I guess rather, is a procedural one. In terms of the information that's available for the proposed budget, I know in the initial meetings we saw details of the department by department budget and information about what was going to be added to the general fund and that. And I was just curious, will that level of detail in the final budget be publicly available? Or, you know, I've seen the summary information that's required, I think, to be prepared. I'm just curious what level of detail is provided when all is said and done.
So the way public hearings work is that you get to talk all you want for
I know.
5 minutes, but we don't get to answer you.
Yep.
So, but we'll take it under advisement. You're saying that you would like to have more detail.
I guess I'd just like to be able, after all of the difficult decisions, to be able to kind of compare what did we come in with and that level of detail, and then finally, as we finish the budget, what does that look like? So,
All right.
Thank you very
so
much.
We're still in the public hearing. Would anyone else like to speak? Bruce Coleman on Emery Drive. Be sure to identify yourself.
Sure. Bruce Coleman, 301 Emery Drive, resident of Waverly, Iowa for 46 years in the same house. And Trudy and I moved here. I was a young man, she was a young lady. We raised our family there, and we chose Waverly specifically because it is a great city, and it's never failed us. But the reason I came here was some of the things in what is proposed in taxation for tax valuations and tax rates kind of caught my eye. And this is kind of what the average guy should look at. I'm sure they don't. But I pulled up a rate summary for the fiscal year, and I went all the way back to '06, but I don't have to go that far back. And I'm more concerned, I guess, primarily with the last, we'll say 6 years, okay? 2 years before COVID, 2 years after, you know, so that's a pretty good balance. And I know that tax valuations are very important, and I know that tax rates are based on the valuations, and that's very important because that turns into income for the city. So I was looking at tax valuations, 2018, 417 million is an M, you know, with rates at 14.18 per thousand, okay, $14.18, right, per thousand. Well, it produces $6 million. Good, great. In addition to that, we have a savings account, which, you know, is called unassigned. So we have a savings account. That's great. Everything keeps going up. Valuations of 2014, 474 million. Approximately a 13.2% increase for 6 years, right? Let's take the same rate. Go all the way up to 2024, 16.9. 2018, 14.18. 2009, or 2024, 16.97, soon to be 17.12. Okay. That increase, 13.1%. Hey, 13.1% valuation, 13, you would think you add them together. This is the beauty of math. If you take 14.18 back in 2018, producing 6 million, this year, 24, 16.97 produces 8.2 million. So you go from 6 to 18, 8.2, 35.8% increase. All right? Not bad. There's rollback. I don't understand it. You guys do. Some of that stuff rolls back. But the more important thing is every year that we had money, we had a savings account. This one report that came out in '23, it's an audit, and there's a lot of figures on it, but I've performed some audits, and usually there's some indication in an audit of what you need to look at. And this particular one, right in the middle, just out of the clear says, total unassigned fund balance is 1.5 million, which is 21% of expenditures. Well, that's fantastic, because you have a savings account that matches 20, wrong. In 18, we had 3.1, which was 58% of our spending budget in savings, and it went up to 3.77 million in 20. 58% of our expenditures were covered by a savings account. And then 2022, 23, 24, we went from 2.1 to 1.5 million. Now, in the same period of time, we increased the actual valuations and rates to produce a 35% higher income. And we proceeded to spend 2.5 million more in addition to that. That's a red flag. So, when you're doing budgeting, I guess you can't put apples and apples on every city, but if you look at Waverly's population in a top 60, you've seen this, we're 39, okay? If you look at valuations, we're at 474 million, we're 39 in the top 60, right? We're right in there. Now you look at per capita, and we're ahead of that. We've got a good economy in Waverly. So we are now at 27. And now, out of the top 60 in the state of Iowa, our tax rate is 12th. Okay? I'm talking to my son, I do taxes, I did his taxes, and I said, wow, I know what your house is. Yours is a lot bigger than mine. And you paid more money for your house than I did, and I know my valuation. How come you're only paying this much in property tax? He said, well, Dad, we're in Cedar Falls. We have an $11.40 property tax. I said, $11.40? And he goes, yeah. I said, well, how's that happen? He goes, I don't know, but I have some friends that are on city council that we graduated together. I talk to them from time to time. They do a rolling budget of about 4 years down there. And I said, well, I think we do a rolling budget of 3 years up in Waverly. But I guess we don't do that anymore. I guess we're down to like 1 year. Maybe we were doing rolling budgets 4 or 5 years ago. But now we're in it by year. I don't like single year budgets and anything. I've done some corporate boards, and I've been on executive boards, and we've done $22 million, $12 million in corporates and that sort of thing. I always kind of like to spread those out because it evens out so those bad turns and unexpected things environmentally that happen, like COVID, you know. So you guys got a tough job, but I'll get back to that original statement. Trudy and I bought this house here because it was affordable, you know, and it has beautiful amenities, you know, it has quality of life, it has everything, it's education, everything. So we want to keep it affordable. I fear that the young people won't be able to spend $300 to $500 to $700 a month on tax revenues. They're going to start looking for Janesville and Shell Rock, and they already are, and Cedar Falls. So we have to kind of consider our future, I guess, when what we're doing. But I appreciate your time. I still love Waverly. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in this public hearing on the budget? Is there anyone else who would like to speak on the budget? Anyone else? That's 3. Council, are you ready to adjourn?
Close the hearing.
Close the hearing. Anyone want to close the hearing?
That's you.
I don't need a motion for that?
No.
Says I do.
That's
Okay.
Adjournment, but to close the hearing, then we adjourn.
Thank you. This hearing is closed. All right. Now you want to adjourn?
I would move to adjourn.
Second. All right. We have a motion to adjourn and a second. Any discussion?
I heard a couple, I would say.
Oh, let's give it to Brian.
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe, flip a coin.
All right, all those in favor of adjourning this meeting, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Thank you. I believe that we cannot start the next meeting